نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
JUZ number 4, Chapter 4, Surah An-Nisa, the Women. This surah was revealed in Al-Madinah Sharif. It has 176 verses and 24 rukus.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
O men, fear your Lord who created you from a single soul and from it created its match, and spread many men and women from the two. Fear Allah in whose name you ask each other for your rights, and fear the violation of the rights of the womb relations. Surely Allah is watchful over you. Give the orphans their property and do not substitute what is bad for what is good, and do not eat up their property along with your own. It is surely a great sin. If you fear that you will not do justice to the orphans, then marry the women you like in twos, in threes, and in fours. But if you fear that you will not maintain equity, then keep to one woman or bond women you own. It will be closer to abstaining from injustice. Give women their dower in good cheer. Then, if they forego some of it, of their own will, you may have it as pleasant and joyful. Do not give the feeble-minded your property that Allah has made a means of support for you, and do feed them from it, and clothe them, and speak to them in fair words. Test the orphans until they reach the marriageable age. Then, if you perceive in them proper understanding, hand their property over to them, and do not consume it extravagantly and hastily, lest they should grow up. Whoever is rich should abstain from using it for himself, and whoever is poor may have from it to the extent of his necessary need with fairness. So when you hand their property over to them, make witnesses upon them. Allah is sufficient for reckoning. For men there is a share in what the parents and the nearest of kin have left, and for women there is a share in what the parents and the nearest of kin have left, be it small or large, a determined share. If the relatives who are not heirs and the orphans and the needy are present at the time of distribution, give them some of it and speak to them in fair words. Those people should be fearful in their behavior towards orphans, who, if they leave behind some helpless children, would remain anxious for them. So they should fear Allah and say what is right. Surely those who unjustly devour the property of the orphans do nothing but devour fire into their bellies, and soon they shall enter a blazing hell. Allah directs you concerning your children. For a male there is a share equal to that of two females. But if they are only women, more than two, then they get 2/3 of what one leaves behind. If she is one, she gets 1/2. As for his parents, for each of them, there is 1/6 of what he leaves in case he has a child. But if he has no child and his parents have inherited him, then his mother gets 1/3. If he has some brothers or sisters, his mother gets 1/6, all after settling the will he might have made or a debt. You do not know who out of your fathers and your sons is closer to you in benefiting you. All this is determined by Allah. Surely Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. For you there is 1/2 of what your wives leave behind in case they have no child. But if they have a child, you get 1/4 of what they leave, after settling the will they might have made or a debt. For them, the wives, there is 1/4 of what you leave behind, in case you have no child. But if you have a child, they get 1/8 of what you leave after settling the will you might have made or a debt. And if a man or a woman is kalala, that is, has neither parents alive nor children, and has a brother or a sister, then each one of them will get 1/6. However, if they are more than that, they will be sharers in 1/3 after settling the will that might have been made or a debt, provided that the will must not be intended to harm anyone. This is a direction from Allah. Allah is all-knowing, forbearing. These are the limits set by Allah. Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger, He will admit him to gardens beneath which rivers flow, where he will live forever. That is a great success. Whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger and transgresses the limits set by Him, He shall admit him to the fire, where he will remain forever. For him there is a humiliating punishment. Those of your women who commit the shameful act have 4 witnesses against them from among you. So, if they testify, then confine those women to their homes until death overcomes them, or Allah prescribes a way for them. Those 2 of you who commit it, chastise both of them. However, if they repent and make amends, then overlook them. Surely Allah is most relenting, very merciful. The relenting taken by Allah upon Himself is for those who do evil in ignorance. Then repent shortly thereafter. So Allah relents towards them. Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. The relenting is not for those who do the evil deeds until when the time of death approaches one of them. He says, "Now I repent," nor for those who die while they are still disbelievers. For them we have prepared a painful punishment. O you who believe, it is not lawful for you that you should forcibly take women as inheritance. Do not hold on to them so that you may take away some of what you have given them, unless they commit a clearly shameful act. Live with them in the recognized manner. If you dislike them, then it is quite likely that you dislike something, and Allah has placed a lot of good in it. If you want to take a wife in place of the one you have and you have given her plenty of wealth, then do not take any of it back. Would you take it through imputation and open sin? How can you take it when you have had access to each other and they have taken a firm covenant from you? Do not marry those women whom your fathers had married except what has passed. It is indeed shameful and detestable, and it is an evil practice. Prohibited for you are your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your paternal aunts, your maternal aunts, daughters of brother, daughters of sister, your mothers who suckled you, your sisters through suckling, mothers of your wives and your stepdaughters, under your care who are born of your women with whom you have had intercourse. Though if you have not had intercourse with them, there is no sin on you, and the wives of your sons from your loins, and that you combine 2 sisters in wedlock, except what has passed. Surely Allah is most forgiving, very merciful. With this, we come to the end of JUZ number 4.
Barakallahu li wa lakum. وآخر دعوانا عن الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.